Hello students, in this session let us learn how the road length will be calculated based upon the saturation system or utility per unit length system. Before any road work network is taken for implementation, it is required for us to prepare a master plan. Master plan is referred as a route development plan. It can be for a city, district, street, or for a whole country. So it is an ideal plan. It is which will show the development of an area and also the development in the future. It serves as a guide for a plan to improve some of the existing roads and also to plan a future network for the road development work. When the development of any road network is planned, it will be generally done on a phase basis. Okay, because it will be difficult for us to implement or execute the work on an entire stretch at one single time. So instead of taking the work for an entire plan at one single time, we can make it into a different stages. Okay, so let us imagine we have one place. In that place the road implementation work has to be planned. So we have 4 different network in which the road has to be constructed. So now what we have to do is, first any one road will be taken up for the implementation. The next the other road work can be constructed subsequently. Now the which has to be taken first for the implementation work, which has to be taken second, so that prioritization can be done with the help of the saturation system. So in the saturation system, the optimum load length is calculated for all the alternatives that are in our hand for an area. It is based upon concept of attaining the maximum utility per unit length of the road. So this is the reason we can also call this as a maximum utility system. So this system can be successfully used when you want to prioritize the work, or sometimes when it is required for us to evaluate the various alternative in our hand to come out with the best alternative for implementation work. We can make use of the saturation system or utility unit system. The factors which are considered to attain the maximum utility per unit length are: the first is we need to consider the population of the region served by the road network and also the productivity served by the network. The productivity can be either the agricultural productivity or industrial productivity. To work out saturation system, it is required for us to divide the population and the productivity into some convenient group. For example, we'll take first the population. So now we have to divide under the area under consideration. So we have to divide the number of region in which population is less than 500. So let us say population between the 1001 to 2000 and also greater than 2001. Okay, so these are the certain ranges in which for the entire study area we will say there are some 100 villages in this study area. We have to check how many number of villages are there with the population within 500, number of villages with the population 500 to 1000, number of villages with the population 1001 to 2001, and number of villages where the population will be exceeding 2000. Similarly, the productivity we have to do the ranges. Maybe where the productivity where the agricultural goods or the raw materials can be up to 10 tons, or industrial product with the in terms of 1000 tons. So we have to estimate what is the total amount of productivity both in terms of the agricultural and industrial productivity in that given study area. The next is the population and the productivity has to be assigned with a number which will generally termed as the utility of the region. Let us say that I'm giving you the utility for the region where the population is in between 500 to 1001. I'm giving it the utility value as 1. Similarly, for the population with less than 1000, the utility value what we give should be less than 1, and population exceeding the 1000 we have to increase the utility value. For other group I'll give the 2.0. Similarly, for agricultural productivity, for 10 tons of agricultural productivity, I'll assign the utility value as 1, and for 100 tons of industrial productivity, we'll assign the utility value as 0. If agricultural productivity is less than 10 tons, utility value will reduces. So like this, we have to first categorize the productivity and population into the various ranges, and for each and every range the utility value has to be given. Based upon the what utility value we have given, we have to find out what is the total utility of the region. So in the study area, now let us consider there are some 5 villages with population less than 500, 5 villages with population 5 to 1001, and there are 3 villages with the population in between 1001 to 2001, and there are some other 1 villages with the utility with the population is greater 2000. So the total utility will be calculated as multiplying the utility unit with the number of places or villages serving the particular population range. So it will be the 0.5 plus 5 plus 1 into 0.5 plus 1.5 into 3 plus 2.0 into 1. So this will gives you the utility with respect to the population. Similarly, so agriculture, based upon the what is the agricultural unit you are having, find out what is the utility because of the production, add both, we will get the total utility. And to find out utility per unit length, we will be knowing what is the total length of the network L. If you divide the total utility by length of the road, this will gives us the utility per unit length. Now similarly, the utility per unit length will be calculated for all the road network under consideration, and the one network which will yield maximum utility per unit length has to be taken first for the priority. Okay, so we'll do an example and we'll see how the alternative can be decided based upon the saturation system. The example says that there are 3 new roads A, B, C are to be completed in a particular district during a 5 years road development plan. We have to work out the order of priority. So A, B, C, all the 3 road has to be constructed. We have to decide the construction of which road has to be taken first and which will be the second and the third one respectively. We have to make use of the maximum utility principle has to be used using the given data. In the data, they have also given as adopt utility value 1 for village serving the population 2000 to 5000, and also for catering the 1000 tons of the agricultural product or 100 tons of industrial product. So let us say that they have given for population serving 2000 to 5000, utility value is 1, and 1000 tons of agricultural product, utility value is 1, and also for 100 tons of industrial product, utility value is 1. And for all other region, we can suitably assume the value. And the population and productivity served by the region along the network A, B, C are given in the table. Road A having a total length of 15 kilometers, and in this network the number of villages serving the population less than 2000 is 10. In between 2000 to 5000 there are 8 villages. Population exceeding 5000 there are 3 villages, and also the productivity in terms of the 1000 tons it is given. Please concentrate on the units that they have given. Productivity in terms of the 1000 tons it is there. For agricultural, there are certainly 15 into 1000 tons, and the one industrial is 1.2 into the 1000 tons of industrial product is being served. So now in the first step, what we have to check is we have to first assign the utility value for both population and the productivity. In the data they have mentioned the utility value is given as 1 for the population between 2000 to 5000, and also the utility value is 1 for agricultural 1000 tons of agricultural product. But for industrial, utility unit is 1 for 100 tons, but since all our productivity is in terms of 1000 ton, we can find out what will be the productivity for the 1000 tons. So now by cross multiplying, the utility value for catering for 1000 tons of the industrial product will be 10. Okay. Similarly, when you look into the population, since the utility value is 1 for population serving between 2000 to 5000, you can assume the smallest utility value, let us say the 0.5 for villages serving the population less than 2000. Either you can take 1.5, or either you can take 2 for the population serving greater than number of villages serving the population exceeding 5000. Now we have all the utility values. Now next is we have to find out the total utility. Calculate the total utility for road A, road B, road C separately. So that calculating the total utility is very simple. We have the number of villages is 10, and utility value for this particular range is 0.5 plus 8. Number of villages within this range is 8. Utility value is 1 plus 3 into utility value is 1.2. This will gives you the utility served with the agriculture population, plus add the utility, this particular portion for the population, and then add it for the productivity. When you add it for productivity, 15 into 1 plus 1.2 into 10. This will gives us the total utility. Things which we have mentioned earlier, as I mentioned in the previous slide. So for road network A, length of the road is 15. How we did for road A, find out the utility per unit length for road B by multiplying the number of villages with the corresponding utility value and the industrial value. So for all the three network, utility per unit length. So if you look at here, so they have assumed the population serving, so what I've explained the previous time, that is what has been represented it here. So for 100 tons of agricultural productivity, the utility value will be 10, because for 100 tons, the utility value is 1. For corresponding to the 1000 tons, utility value become 10. So for road A, total utility served will be add up all. We get the total utility as 46. So when we add all the things, so we will get the total unit utility as the 46. So I'm so sorry, here some calculations are missing. So do the and find out what is the total utility, and to get the utility per unit length, total utility by total utility is 46 divided by per unit length. So you will get the utility unit per length as 0.37. See, calculating will gives you the utility. Once you calculate that, tabulate it in a table for road A, road B and road C. Utility per unit length calculated as 3.07, 2.0 and 2.89. Now when we fix up the priority, the first priority must be assigned to that one road network which will yield us the maximum utility. So now you can see that for the road A, utility per unit length is 3.07, which is maximum compared to the other two network. So we will give the first priority for road network A. So subsequently next utility second priority will be given to the road network C, as it is slightly higher than, utility value is higher than the road network B, and the last priority will be given for the road B. So like this you can fix up the priority for implementing the any project. So similar way, whenever you have alternate road alignment in which it is required for us to choose one among the different alternative, we can make use of the same system, and we can take the one best road which will gives us the maximum utility value. Thank you.